Sometimes you apologize so quickly, you don't even hear yourself do it. Someone bumps into you, and the word sorry leaves your mouth before your mind even catches up. Someone misunderstands what you meant, and instead of explaining, you soften your voice and apologize. Someone is quiet around you, distant, irritated, carrying something that may have nothing to do with you, and somehow your chest still tightens like you caused it. And what's strange is, part of you already knows you didn't do anything wrong, but another part of you still feels responsible. Responsible for the mood, responsible for the silence, responsible for keeping everything from becoming uncomfortable. And if you've ever wondered why you do that, why your first instinct is to take emotional blame even when it doesn't belong to you, the answer usually begins much earlier than you think. Maybe it happens in small moments. You ask a simple question, and someone answers with a sharp tone. Immediately, your body changes. You smile a little, shrink a little, and say, sorry. Not because you understand what happened, because you want peace back as fast as possible. And maybe nobody around you notices how automatic that is, because on the outside, it looks polite. It looks harmless. But inside, something deeper is happening. You are not just apologizing. You are trying to prevent something. A reaction, a conflict, a rejection, a distance. Maybe you grew up around unpredictable moods, where someone could be warm one moment and cold the next, where the safest choice was to read every face carefully, to notice every tone shift, to quickly adjust yourself before tension became something bigger. And when you live like that long enough, your nervous system begins to believe something dangerous. If something feels wrong, fix yourself first, even when you are not the cause. Pause for a second and think about that. How many times have you apologized this week, not because you were wrong, but because you felt uncomfortable? Sometimes apology is kindness, and sometimes apology is fear dressed as kindness. People who apologize too much are often the same people who already carry too much internally. They replay conversations later, analyze facial expressions, remember tiny changes in tone everyone else forgets. A simple "okay" message can stay in their head for hours because they are scanning for hidden meaning. Even when that discomfort was never yours to carry, your mind immediately asks, how do I make this lighter? Without boundaries, sensitivity can slowly turn into self-blame. You start apologizing before anyone asks you to, before conflict exists, before blame appears. Almost like you are paying emotional rent just to stay comfortable in the room. The more often you apologize for things that are not yours, the more your mind starts believing your presence itself needs constant correction. You begin shrinking in places where you should simply exist. And maybe the next time the word sorry rises automatically, you pause just long enough to ask, did I do something wrong? Or have I just spent too long believing that every uncomfortable moment must belong to me? Because sometimes the deepest healing begins there, not in learning how to speak louder, but in learning that your first instinct does not always tell the truth, and that not everything needs your apology, especially not your existence.